Welcome to the City of Agost, which has been built with City Skylines for I think that 1 year and a half. I think that I started this city on more or less on April last year. This is 2021, and this video has been recorded some weeks, I suppose, because we don't know still, we don't know yet, but some weeks before the Paradox release of the Plazas DLC, the Plazas expansion. And this city, I think that was built. I started it months before the airport's expansion. So this is the starting of the city, and the city starts with the Lavender Lake map, which came with the Green Cities expansion years ago. So this map, I'm going to zoom out map. I suppose that this is Lavender Lake, and that's the connection to the open sea. There's a river coming down here, and here's like a bay, but a very close bay, and the starting tile, if you try that map, that vanilla map, is this one. I mean, it is close. Let's see, because maybe if I do this, the starting tile is that one, the one here. So that more or less that corner. So the entrance, I mean the highway, the main motorway or the regional motorway that comes with the Lavender Lake map is this one. The principal motorway comes here. There is a junction with another regional motorway, and that motorway comes through here, to here, to here, and in the vanilla map, of course, the city was not here, so the motorway ran from this part here to this part, exiting the city or my region, my actual region, through this point. So everything that you see here is new, especially this junction with this bypass of the city that comes through here that I will talk later. So starting the city was this junction came with a vanilla junction, those ugly junctions, so I changed that through to a trumpet interchange like this one, which connected to this motorway, this internal motorway that runs through here, and finally goes to an agricultural industry, some farmlands, that in the end exits the city right through the entrance of the main regional highway. So the reason I upload this video is that this city is already 9 tiles spread to the map. So, and I have built it without mods, without Move It, without the 25 tile mod, without Traffic Manager, without any mod. So it is completely vanilla. I guess that you could see here that the achievements are still available. So I haven't used any mods. There aren't any assets from the workshop either. So here I have only used all the City Skylines expansions up to the airports, that's including that one, and some content creator packs such as this one, the European Suburbia, which was released years ago. I think that I have also used, as you could see here, the Art Deco buildings, which I mean, this they grow. I mean, alongside every other vanilla building in the game, including I think the campus, the university, no, the city campus, or the one that the content creator pack by King Leno, which came with the campus expansion. So the city started right here. The street layout is the same. I haven't changed at least this part of the city since I started it. What I changed as soon as I got the district policies and the district definition, I changed the style of the houses here to European suburbia and to the how we call it, this specialization. This one, let's see, the self-sufficient buildings expansion, the one that came with green buildings. So there is the district which is called here Plaza Arenal. It's the green building, the green cities expansion for residential buildings, whereas Anchor Heights is just the European suburbia. Next to Anchor Heights, we find the Agost Timber and Company, which is the forestry industry, and the city. And for example, these two junctions that you see here, they are the primitive junctions, which I haven't changed them a bit since I began the city, because they function correctly even with the lights here, and so there was no need to change them. Also because as you see here, there is permeability between that part of the city, between potatoes and tomatoes, which are, I think that they are here, and Plaza Arenal and Anchor Heights, which are here, through this road that you see here under the motorway, this other road, and some pedestrian crossings, pedestrian bridges that you see here. So the city was expanded to potatoes and tomatoes here, also with also the I must see it here. Let's see the ET cluster expansion in Iborra Square, and also this the first industrial estate in the city, which was this one, and which has been reduced because the city was expanded to other industrial estates. See, here are some buildings associated with the energy production, and even, for example, the tram depot, which is here. So the city was expanded to this part, this agricultural industry fields that are here, with some small town here. That this is a small town next to the farms, and that was the first expansion of the city. Then the second expansion of the city was this district, this neo-European mid-19th century district, which is here and was built in a plateau. If you find the Lavender Lake map in this area here, because I started the city, I think that before the airport expansion, so there was not yet the capability to buy or sell soil. So in order to make a flat district here, to build this place, this district that you see here, I had to build this mountain. So that mountain is artificial in a way that, I mean, it was not in the original map. So this mountain allowed me to build this natural reserve that you see here. And once that I unlocked the castle, the Chirpi Castle or something like that, that's the name, then I placed the castle on top of the mountain, and I used this cable car system to connect the castle, the castle district, with the real castle on top of the mountain. This is also, next to the castle, is the secondary entrance to the natural reserve. So people could come, for example, from this place of the town, this part of the town, through this cable car station, which has a tram station next to it, tram stop, and they could come to visit the castle, and later to go into the natural reserve park and go beyond these paths that we find here up to the bottom of the natural reserve, which is here. And that was the third expansion of the city, this place here, which is this housing estate that you see here. So this part of the city used lots of how do you say, the unique buildings with that 19th century vibe. For example, the Amsterdam Palace, this City Hall and everything, this operation office, which I don't think that it is oppressing anyone here in the city, but it makes a good companion to all these buildings, and even this clock tower that you see here. So all these gardens and avenues were like more or less like a high society castle district, supposedly built around the 19th century in a neo-European style. The connection to this castle is through this, initially, of course, using another cable car to this second plateau that you have here with also European style, and with a metro which is here, that connects to this part of the city, which was the first European, or the largest European expansion that I had. So this is the metro, and it connects to the central station that you see here, which is the main source, or was for a long time, as I was building the city, the main source for to the entrance of tourists in the city. Next to the central station is the concert hall, the concert area, the festival area, and these are also some European buildings mixed with the modern city center buildings that came with another content creator pack, I think. Also, this is one of the Art Deco milestones or unique buildings that I think that makes a good companion to this part. And this was the end of this expansion of the city with this housing estate that you see here, and it was built since I didn't have mods, since I didn't have plop the grows on those kind of mods. Then you zone the buildings and you wait up till, and you bulldoze the buildings until the style and the buildings are have this repetitive pattern. I have used that that method in several parts of the city. Let's find some place, for example, one that uses the self-sufficient building expansion is this one, and I think that this area here also I use the buildings or the zone areas, and I bulldoze the buildings when they were not the type of building that I decide for this area. And in this way I think that it makes more or less like a realistic way to present the cities. Also, for example, this part of the city has also, I have also used this technique. And another one that was especially time consuming was, let's see if I can find it, it was here. This part of the city also I mixed. I had to wait until some level growing of the buildings until I had this type of area, which makes more or less like an expansion of the area that worked well. I think that that's more or less all for queer expansions. Oh yes, here is the local produce or local self-produce specialization district, which also came with Green Cities DLC, and I also bulldozed the buildings until I had this type of market or local market buildings that you see here. And of course, for example, in the sports district that you see here, also in order to build these parking lots, I have also these lots can belong also to the this is the IT cluster. In the commercial, the organic local produce, which is the technique that, for example, is in, I think, Overcharged Egg and some YouTubers, like I think also City Planner Place in that channel, they use in order to build vanilla parking lots. This is non-modded or non-assets. These parking lots have also been used here in the zoo expansion of the city, right in this part with this hospital, and for example next to the zoo. And I think that I also use them in the faculty of the School of Medicine, the Faculty of Medicine, to I think that more or less like a realistic way. By the way, that reminds me of the university. The university here in this city, let's see, is spread to the whole city. So I have here, this is the university. Let's zoom out if I can. This is the university spread to the whole city, just for example using different buildings covering the whole city. The number of students here is, I think it's the more or less what I have, 3,400 students, which more or less also coincidentally matches the number of tourists in the city, which is more or less also 3,500 tourists in the city. This has reached, sometimes this has peaked a maximum of 3,700 tourists, but I think more or less is like that. The main sources of tourists in this city, in this town, are the central station that you see here, with more or less like 2,000 passengers serviced last week. Also, there are some bus stations. This is Bus Central South. This is, I understand that this is the southern part of the city. Of course, in the other corner, you find Bus Central North, which is the other one. Which, I mean, there are less passengers, of course, with the bus service. When we got the airport's expansion, here you have the Agost Flughafen, which is this one. I didn't need another runway, so this is the commercial airport next to the cargo airport that you see here. And next to the cargo airport is this industrial estate close to the mining industry that you see here. Because I don't have the infinite ore and infinite oil mods active, because that's cheat, then here you have these buildings, which are the buildings that import the ore to the city in order for these buildings to work. But as you see here, they don't work quite well. So I think that I would need I would need to cheat, but I'm not going to cheat. Once that I have reached this nine-tile city, I'm not going to cheat yet. So this is the ore industry, which is called heavy metals, and this is the Pomares Oil Company and Railway Company, which is here, which is my oil industry, or my petrochemical industry, which is placed here. That's more or less for expansions and those things. And of course, tourists. I was talking about tourists. The last source of tourists that I have placed on the city is, of course, the cruise line, which is here. And next to the cruise line, you see some bus service that just connects the cruise lines with with this train station, this railway station that is in the Tabarca Island. In the original map, in the Lavender Lake map, this part of the city is a peninsula, so it is connected to this. This is the isthmus that connects this part of this island to the continent. But I think it was last December I decided that this would make for a nice canal in order to use these pedestrian walks and quays that you see here, and I think that they are quite nice. This area is not zoned, yes, but my idea is to zone it, or my initial idea was to zone it with these residential buildings, which I think that they make some good views. But I think that coming soon, the Plazas expansion, I will use here some other types of buildings that are not too repetitive. This is the zoo, which is called Tabar Park, and it has been the second to last park in the city. And it is like this, so it is in this island, so it is a very, I think it is a very important landmark of the city. This is the only mass transit service in this island. My intention is that it is only the railway that is going to enter this island, and maybe there will be like a tram or a metro placed in this island, but there will not be metros or trams connecting the continent to the island. What reminds me that these are the public lines, so this is just one bus line. Well, there are two bus lines here and the railway, and as you see here, next to this old market train station, I have a metro station, underground station, that connects at the end with this Metro Plaza station that you see here, in which some metro lines in the city connect. So this is more or less the state of the city right now. One important thing that I think that I commented earlier in the video was that the principal motorway in this city ran, let's see, from here right through here, of course on the ground and not below the city, and exits the city right to this point. So my idea was that if I only use this principal motorway, it was going to be very congested with traffic. So when I said that I planned in advance the construction of this mountain, once that I build with the soil that they was collecting to build these plateaus and everything, this mountain, then I arranged for a junction, a trumpet junction here, to with the intention that traffic that is going to pass through the city, not entering the city, should be bypassed through this motorway that you see here. So this is the bypass of the city, this motorway that you see here. One principal entrance to the city is this roundabout that you see here, which is very is relevant and it's critical for the city. It has been crowded and it has been congested so many times, and that's the reason why I have built some diverted exits in order for the vehicles to avoid the necessity for them to enter the roundabout. For example, this truck that you see here has entered the roundabout, but that has been an error. It should have gone this way, because supposedly the vehicles that come through here should go this way, should use that direction to enter the city. Okay, this bypass connects to the main regional motorway at this point, and then we exit the city. So the problem is that if you see the map, the artificial intelligence in this game, as you know, chooses between this point and this point, chooses the fastest road. So the fastest road is this motorway, not this one, because this takes a longer time to circulate. So that's the reason why, and I promise that they work, these toll booths that you see here, and these toll booths act like I mean they make drivers to choose this entrance only if they are going to enter the city, not if they are going to bypass the city. So I think that we could see here, let's see if this works. If I, for example, mark this channel here, these are of course this traffic that comes to here goes to the channel and it enters the city, and it is only a very small amount of, well, as you see, there are no cars that are going to that have entered that channel without exiting the city through this point. So so I mean it acts like a I think the word in English is sorry. I mean it is this sorry device to avoid an unnecessary traffic through the city. So this way here, or this ramp is, or for example, yes, this ramp is used by vehicles that either are going to enter the city through these junctions or are going to exit the city at this point. So that kind of demonstrates that the toll booths that we have here kind of work and can be used just as like in real cities to avoid unnecessary traffic through critical motorways in our towns. More things that I should comment here. One thing that I think I saw this in a tutorial, but I could not remember the name of the YouTuber that told us, was this way to occupy the roundabouts. I mean, the roundabouts, of course, you could decorate them, such as this one, for example, with your paths, your trees, your fences and everything, even your water towers. But roundabouts, like in real cities, can act like squares. So this was, I think that it is a nice way to use this square, to roundabout as a square, just to make it big enough in order so as to place a building. This is a unique building inside it. So as you notice here, this building is connected through this road here. So this road, I mean, these buildings normally need a road that it is should be perpendicular to this one. So the way I have built that building, just in case that you should be interested in to know how. For example, let's suppose that I want to build this park. This is the temple complex that came with the Orient Palace of the East content creator pack, I think. So I could place it like this, but I could also create, for example, let's see, I could also create a small road, for example, here, and then, for example, here, and here. Then I can place my temple complex like here, and then once that the temple complex is built, then I can remove these roads, and for example I could change this entrance, for example, into this one. Let's see how it fits. So that's the way in which you can have these buildings without the need to have here some roads, and you can just decorate the buildings. I think that I have used this technique not only in that roundabout that I told you before. This, where it was this, I can locate it. Yes, this roundabout with the post mall that you have here, and also like to I like to use these pedestrian paths that they are not functional because the pedestrian path starts here but connects to nothing because there is no functional entrance to the milestone or to the building through here. But in any case, this allows me to put some gardens and to kind of camouflage or something like that the presence of this rectangular shaped building. I think that the use of this technique was better here with the, I think this is the Modern Art Museum that came with the vanilla, the core game, and here the entrance is here. I remove, of course, the perpendicular roads, and it is connected here. I also used this technique with this part, with the lungs of the city, which is here, and I mean, it is more or less it is seamless, the connection between the path and the entrance to the milestone, to the unique building like this one. Also, one square of the city or part of the building or the city that I liked a lot is this memorial part of the city with the disaster memorial and the observation tower and this quarter of a circle pedestrian paths that you see here with different palm trees and bushes. So, of course, again, these pedestrian paths are not functional because they start here and they do not connect with anything, but aesthetically I think that they fit quite well, quite nice. These buildings that you see here also have been built with a technique to zone, wait for the correct building or my desired building to be erected here, and then if it is not, erase or bulldoze it until I have the building that matches and kind of like makes like a housing estate here in the area. This is the Fisher port, the Fisher industry port, to just to have some boats in this canal here, and I built this like this dique in Spanish, but I don't remember the name in English, but this part of the building so as to protect the external water line from the internal area that you have here. And this is an industrial port with two sections, and this works more or less nicely. That's all for the city. So there are some parts that are yet to be finished, like these ones. But my idea is to upload this city to the workshop, City Skylines workshop, and then since there are no workshop assets and there are no mods, I think that everyone should have this city available to play with it, providing that they have the previous DLCs, and also to convert it and to play with it with the incoming expansion of the plazas and pedestrian areas and wall-to-wall buildings, specializations, and everything. So this was a tour through my City of Agost, in which I have spent many interesting and nice hours building and decorating it. And I think that in the description of the workshop entry, I should also be grateful to so many inspiring YouTubers up there like Bifa, like Overcharged Egg, like Target Gaming, City Planner Place, and also Spanish YouTubers like Rapella, Chiches, and Escocés, which have created so many entertaining series with city skylines and have provided so many interesting topics that can be applied even if many of them played with modded versions of the software of City Skylines. I mean, you could be creative and never sufficiently creative in order to use those techniques and try to find how to, in the vanilla tool, with the vanilla tools, how to use those techniques in order to decorate and have your city and have these organic cities that you see here. So many thanks to you, to all of you watching the video, and I hope that you enjoy the city. Goodbye.